And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Why Does This Not Work? Who asked the question, Who win a fight? Juby for Madara or Six Paths Madara. You said Juby, which is the Ten Tails, which obviously means it's Six Paths Madara, as you're referring to, versus Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. So Raditz, let's go with Raditz first. Raditz obviously is the older brother of Goku. He was the first Saiyan to show up on Earth after Goku, and is the one who's kind of responsible for killing Goku. Technically, Piccolo is, but let's be honest, Raditz was the one who, Raditz is the one who, they were holding. He had him into in a lock, so they could. So I mean, as a Saiyan, we know he's capable of flight, stronger than the average human, capable of using ki blasts, and he's a decent fighter. Durable enough to, take gunfire without a problem, really. But anything like a high level blast or a decent level blast was able to damage his armor, and a severe enough blast was able to just, destroy his, just kill him. So that being said, how strong is Raditz in terms of sheer power? You should also know he's a pretty clever individual from what we see, though he's also kind of cowardly. When he was faced with the option of possibly dying, he did run away, or did try to trick his way out of it because he did not want to die. But that said, how strong is he? Is he planetary in his level? Well, that's a hard thing to really say. We know his power level from the Daisenshi is about 1500. And we know Roshi was able to destroy a moon in Dragon Ball era, but we know Roshi's buff form is much stronger than his base form of 139. There's no definitive power level on that. By the way, for anyone for the first one, is to say, stop using your own multiplier. We'll go on Google for the multiplier for Master Ultra Instinct and Ultra Instinct. I hate to tell you this, that's not an official multiplier. It's just not. Whatever anyone scales a power level to in terms of power, it's just their own personal opinion and math. So to the person who was saying, you should stop using your own power and stuff, it's like, why? Because someone else gave their own number for it? No, because there's like a dozen other, opinions on what the multiplier is. Anyway, so I guess the question is, if you think Roshi had a power level of at least 1500 when he blew up the moon in that buff form, because that buff form is very limiting for how long he can use it. My guess is that yes, Raditz could still destroy a planet if he really wanted to or had to. He could destroy a planet, but he's low enough power that it would literally take everything he had to do so. Whereas with someone like Vegeta, or hell, even Nappa, it clearly does not take anywhere near the same amount of effort to destroy a planetoid or planet. So yeah, Raditz is probably a planet buster, but it probably takes all of his power to do so. Madara, it's not Madara, I know, it's Madara. Madara Uchiha. Now, we are looking at Six Sage Madara, but he still has all the abilities he had originally as Madara. So he has access to a Susanoo, or Susanoo, depending on, again, pronunciation. The ability to just some of those giant meteors. He's got access to the Rinnegan and access to any of his Mangekyo abilities. He's got access to all his Fire Style releases, all the elemental jutsu. But as Madara, as Six Sage Madara, he's even more powerful, having hyper regeneration, being able to move at light speeds, being able to use specific attacks that move at light speeds. I believe it was like Light Fang, which was light speed and attack speed. He's got the Limbo clones, which exist outside in like a separate dimension, but can interact with the real world, but normal people can't see them. He obviously has the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. He does have access to the Infinite Tsukiyomi, but that also requires the access to the Jubi, tree. I'm trying to remember. He has the chakra orbs, which are a meld of all the chakras, including his staff. And touching it can actually, just wipe out things and negate negate regeneration in chakra. He's still got decades worth of experience under his belt as well. So he's a supremely tactical fighter, lived through war. He's more than capable of strategizing and just taking someone out with sheer hand-to-hand. Well, alone, he's a proficient weapon user. And yeah, I mean, and I'm probably overlooking something. Obviously, he has the Renegon still, so he can still use the Renegon abilities. So yeah, I mean, as such, he is extremely powerful, like extremely powerful. And these two meet in a fight. I mean, Raditz is like boasting about coming down and taking over the planet. And this may be happening during the fight while Naruto and Sasuke are down for the count temporarily. And then Raditz shows up, like, "What's going on here? Where is Kakarot? Do I even have the right planet? You creature, you civilian. What planet is this?" It's like, Madara is just looking at us. "I don't know who you are, but you're in my way." And he just throws an orb at him, and Raditz dodges it because he can clearly do something. It's like, you're attacking me. That you've got quite some interesting abilities there, but they don't mean anything. The orb comes back. He just blasts it. But the orb doesn't think condensed enough, strong enough to survive in a ki blast. So he immediately has to dodge it again. And he's just kind of dodging the orb. He just tries to grab the orb. And I think Radz's Saiyan physiology, the fact he's much more powerful than a lot of other individuals. Like, we know Naruto and Sasuke were able to touch the orbs at that point. Once they got the 6th stage. So you can touch these orbs if you reach a certain level of power. And I do think Raditz is probably in that area of power, because most ninja do not have planetary level destructive capabilities. Naruto, Sasuke, Madara, Kaguya, they do. Hell, even Orochimaru, I can't think of a technique he's displayed that's planetary in threat. Maybe the 3rd, but I can't think of anything that's planetary in threat. And even so, Madara doesn't straight out have a technique that could theoretically be destroy the planet, except maybe the Susanoo and something, a giant asteroid. At least base form Madara is what I'm getting at. Oh, Steve. Oh. So I do believe Raditz does have the ability to grab it, but he can feel like it's burning. It's like, what is this thing? And Madara's like, "You can touch my orbs. That's very impressive. But tell me, who are you?" "I am Raditz of the one of the last remaining Saiyans, and we're here to conquer this world. I'm looking for my brother. He landed here some time ago." So Madara's like, "I see it, but unfortunately this planet is mine." He just points his staff at him, "And I will have no one get in the way of my plan. No, not you, not them." And so they clash. And unfortunately, as they clash, while Raditz is initially able to keep up with Madara, his actual overall abilities don't seem to be excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. His overall abilities lack. Madara's just got so much versatility. Then you have the Renegon, and then Raditz comes in, swing, Shinra Tensei, and then just blasts back Raditz. He starts draining. Well, it would be ki chakra, but ki. So he starts he starts draining it. Raditz is able to have a lot of range on him, but just blasting him with ki blasts and just hitting him. But he's just regenerating back and was like, "Enough of this," and just hits him and uses the light language. Raditz. Here's the thing. I don't think the early Dragon Ball level characters actually had light speed capabilities. Once they got to a certain level, it was clear they were going light speed and well beyond. But when you're looking at especially Dragon Ball and early Dragon Ball Z, I don't think they had light speed capabilities, personally. We just never saw anything that said they had that level of reaction time. And if they did, it was at the most minuscule levels. Once we got to Saiyan Saga and beyond that, that's when you can start making the firmer arguments. And almost certainly, there's a red tint because we got red curtains and the lights coming through. It's like, little Kill Bill. So Raditz just finally has had it. and just blasts him point blank with everything he's got. But Madara is quickly ready to be just like no, and just cuts right through because it's a concentrated beam, and just and Raditz just and then Madara's just there. All the orbs are basically, except for the one that's keeping him floating, are like pointing out like you were interesting for a while, saying, and then just they and just turn into like spears and just Raditz is done. Unfortunately, Raditz just does not have a level of power I think that can compete with Madara at this point. Yeah, while he might be planetary, Madara, while not having a straight out technique that could destroy the planet, is clearly some level of equivalency to that as well. But he's also got insane regeneration capabilities. He's got much greater just overall range, and he's just overall the more skilled and more experienced fighter. Plus, if he really wanted to, he still has access to Sharingan Genjutsu. He can just puts him in Raditz in a Genjutsu. I don't think Raditz has the indomitable will enough to avoid that. So ultimately, I am going, with Madara for the win. But who do you got, Madara or Raditz? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you folks tomorrow for another Who Would Win. And tonight, you'll have the Fast 9 review. You know what? The reviews are, I'm not going to actually be, I've heard one review, and I've heard 2 reviews, and they're not good. Let me see what Fast 9 is currently at right now for Rotten Tomatoes real quick, to round out this Who Would Win. 63%. It's still fresh. It's still fresh. Okay. But yeah, let's be honest, 63 is not the greatest. That's with how many reviews now? For at least critic-wise. Okay, 122, which means it's probably going to stay roughly at a fresh rating. It's probably going to stay there. All right. It might fluctuate 1 or 2%, but it looks like it'll stay there. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks later.